Here's the latest news from the Caucasus Neighborhood. This week's big story came from Armenia, where President Serge Sarkisyan was sworn in for a second 5-year term in office. The inauguration was mostly overshadowed, however, by the inauguration of a new Armenia in Yerevan's Freedom Square, led by presidential election runner-up Rafi Hovhannisyan. After the rally, Hovhannisyan led demonstrators on a march through the city, but they were stopped by police when they diverted from the announced route and headed towards the presidential palace. A second march that evening also attempted to pass by the presidential palace, leading to a standoff lasting several hours, during which some protesters were arrested and others injured, most notably Deputy Chairman of the Heritage Party, Armen Martirosyan. Many protesters were disappointed by Hovhannisyan's behavior that day, and public attention is now expected to turn to next month's Yerevan mayoral election. With its opening planned within a year, the operators of the Baku-Tbilisi-Kars Railroad, which connects Azerbaijan and Turkey via Georgia, are looking to put it to strategic use. A Georgian state minister has offered its use to move NATO troops and supplies out of Afghanistan as part of the scheduled troop withdrawal in 2014. The railroad, which was scheduled to open in 2010 but has seen significant delays, was built with money from the Azerbaijan State Oil Company with the intention of isolating Armenia. Azerbaijan received a strong rebuke from U.S. Ambassador Richard Morningstar following the Prosecutor General's abrupt closure of a university established to promote democratic values. Azad Fikir University, Free Thought in English translation, was shut down without explanation, with a spokesman stating that the reason will be clarified after a preliminary investigation. Ambassador Morningstar also used the occasion to express his concern over the situation faced by Azerbaijani youth movements and public organizations in general, which have been subject to multiple crackdowns this year in the run-up to the presidential election in October. With a presidential election approaching in Georgia too, Prime Minister Bidzina Ivanishvili is backing an inquiry into his rival President Mikhail Saakashvili's handling of the 2008 war with Russia. Ivanishvili wants an explanation of how the conflict started and was conducted. Saakashvili says he only sent troops into the breakaway region of South Ossetia after Russian forces crossed into it. Moscow rejects this argument, as did an EU report on the war, hence Ivanishvili's call that we must know what happened. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry was in Turkey to meet with his counterpart, Ahmet Davutoglu. Syria is at the top of the agenda, because as the U.S. ambassador to Turkey pointed out, the world community cannot do anything to help Syria without working with Turkey. The U.S. seeks to increase pressure on the Syrian government, coordinate with the Syrian opposition, and form a more coherent policy to end the violence. The U.S. has stepped up public diplomacy with Turkey in recent weeks, and the White House has announced that it will also host a meeting on May 16th between President Erdogan and President Obama. And that's the latest news from the Caucasus Neighborhood.